Everyone, this is Nomadic Nisa here with another video for you. And in this video, we will talk about the visa process. So, you found a job. Someone wants to hire you, but you have to get your visa first before you can go and work for them. Now, I only have experience with visa process in South Korea and China. My information for South Korea is a little outdated, but it's pretty much still the same process as far as I'm concerned with the friends that I've talked to who are still in South Korea. But my information about China is very up to date because I'm currently still in China. Now, the first step, remember, I'm looking at notes, yes. So I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to be as informational as possible. So I'm going to look at my notes. For the visa process, what documents do you need? You need your original documents for everything. Bachelor's degree, TOEFL certificate or TESOL certificate. You also need your background check, and they will also ask, depending on the country. In Korea, I did not have to get a health check, but China, I had to get a health check in order to apply for the visa and stuff like that. So those are 4 things. So background check, bachelor's degree, TESOL or TOEFL certificate, and your health check. Now, when it comes to those documents, you have to get the background check, the bachelor's degree, and the TESOL or TOEFL certificate authenticated. Yeah, authentication process. How do you do that? So here I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. Now, with the authentication process, there are 2 steps you have to follow. First, make a copy of your original document. So, for example, let's take this. This is my Cert TESOL. This is the original. Do not get your original documents authenticated. You might want to go to a different country later on. Just think, the original authenticated for one country. How's that going to look? That's not looking good. So make a copy and get that one authenticated. So first of all, here's what you have to do first. First, you have to get it certified. So it has to be certified as a true copy and not something fake. Now, certifications, you can get those. You can go to a bank. You can pay someone at the bank to certify your document. So, for example, this one, my Cert TESOL, is from Trinity College in London, so I had to send this all the way to the UK just to get it authenticated. I'll explain that one later as well. But let's talk about the stuff from America. Let's take my bachelor's degree. So for my bachelor's degree, first things first, I went to, let me get that in there. I went to the bank and they notarized it. So this is also another way of saying that it's a true copy. Notarization is first. And then, once you get it notarized, then you have to go to the Secretary of State and they will give you the certificate that it's been notarized. And then you have to send it to the Chinese embassy to get it authenticated. Yeah, very, very long process. Now, for Korea, it was different. You just had to get it apostilled by the Secretary of State in the United States. That's it. So that was a simpler process. Like I said, do not get your original documents authenticated or apostilled or notarized or anything. You need them to make copies in case you want to go somewhere else and do ESL teaching as well. So think about that. So we talked about where to go and how to get this done. Now, let me point out the Certisa one, the details in that. So I had to go through like a visa agency to get it authenticated and notarized. So like in London, they do the apostille. So you have at the top, it's a true copy. At the bottom is the apostille. And then the Chinese embassy. Yes, they will do the authentication for it as well. So, like I said, I went through a visa agency because I was in China. And I couldn't just automatically jump and go to the UK to get this document authenticated and apostilled and certified and stuff like that. So you do have the options of going through visa agencies to help you along that process of getting your documents done. And that we will talk about that more once we get into more detail about the visa process. So next thing, so background checks. Depends on the country and also company. In Korea, I had to get an FBI background check. In China, all I had to do was go to my local police station and get a background check. Just fine. Because with my first company, EF, English First, or Education First, whichever they go by, they actually will get your FBI background check for you. It depends on the company, but yes. And next thing, your health check. So your school or your company will provide you with the documents that you need to fill out or that your doctor needs to fill out to certify that you are in good health. That was an irritating process for the simple fact that you have to do all these tests and everything and stuff like that. And then once you get into the country in China, they're going to do the same test anyway. It's like, why? Why did you want me to do this here? And now you're going to do this again. What's the point? But it's better safe than sorry. Let's just put it that way. You're better if you're in good health. Let's just put it that way. Now, next in the visa process, when you are trying to get your visa, you might have to actually go to that host country's embassy in your country to process and apply for your visa. For Korea, I could just mail in the application. No big deal. China was a different story. China, they were doing, in this point in time, this was like 2017, they were having issues where they made their applicants go to the embassy and do fingerprinting. Yes, a hassle. And then think about it. For China, there are only certain embassies. They're not in every single state. They're like in regions. So I'm from Detroit, Michigan, so the closest one to me is in Chicago. Think about it. That's a 3-hour drive there. Inconvenient, but if you want to get your documents in the process, you gotta do what you gotta do. So we went there, got the fingerprints done and everything, and then here's a trick. Instead of going all the way back there to get the finished visa in my passport and everything, I paid a visa agency to collect my documents and to send it back to me in Detroit. Yes, it's costly. It is costly, but it's also convenient. You also have the option for most companies. Your company will reimburse you for your expenses, just like they will reimburse you for your flight to them, or they will pay for your flight. So keep that in mind, that you're thinking like, why should I even bother doing ESL teaching? It seems like more money is coming out of my pocket. At first, yes, it is, but you will be reimbursed, okay? Now, the next part here, let's see. Don't forget, you will need an invitation letter from your company, especially for China, when you're applying for your visa. Okay, so they will provide that as well. They will send it to you. And let's see. That's pretty much it for the visa process. So like I said, just make sure you do your research. Do your research on the embassy, wherever you're going. Like I said, each country is different. Each country has different rules and different processes. Okay? Now, as far as the visa goes, let's take, for example, my time in Korea. I only had to have that one visa. No big deal. I didn't have to renew it every single year. China. When I first got here, I was on a Z visa. The Z visa is your work visa. It's verifying that you're here to work. This only lasts for 3 months. Your company is supposed to transfer your, let's not say transfer, change your visa over to a temporary residence permit. Now, this means that you are here to work and you are legally working with someone, okay? Z visa is not necessarily a work visa that's like something you have to stay with. It's saying that you are here to come to work, okay? And your residence permit, your temporary residence permit is saying that, okay, you can stay here and you can work here, okay? Now, another point about your visa situation, especially in China, with the Z visa, it's just a one entry visa. So if you don't get it changed, that means if you leave the country to go on vacation, you are not getting back in unless you apply for another visa. Now that's costly. Your temporary residence permit is a multiple entry visa where you can come in and out during that period of time where your visa is valid. So remember, with ESL teaching, most contracts, you'll be in a contract. Those will last for 1 year. So your temporary residence permit will last for 1 year. And each time you say, okay, I'm going to renew my contract with this company, or I'm going to go to a different company, you have to renew your visa. Yes. Your company will help you with that. It's okay. It's their job, not yours. Sometimes you might get into situations, especially big companies. I will warn you, big companies are not always giving. When it comes to transferring your visa to another company, they won't do it. Sometimes I feel like it's because they say, I paid for this, so it's my visa and I can do whatever I want with it because I gave you your money back. So I can cancel your visa, especially if you don't want to work for me anymore. That was a pain. I went through that last year when I was changing jobs, where English first, they canceled my visa. They canceled my work permit, and they put me on a temporary stay visa. This can be a little difficult, especially when you're trying to find your next job and you haven't found one and you're scrambling. You're like, okay, I don't want to go home. I need to stay in the country. I need to get a job. I need someone to help me with this visa process. That was stressful because you have to start all over. You have to get your documents back in order and everything, but you also have to have someone help you with this process as well. Local friends, they helped me during this process, but I'll get more into that in another video. Right now I want to focus on just the process of doing this for the first time. Maybe later on in other videos I will explain my situation that happened last year. Okay? So, not to make this video too long with just me talking and talking and talking, I'm going to end it here with that visa process and everything. You know the basics, but like I said, do your research, and also don't forget, ask your company these questions as well. What do you need to do? What do you need to have? And where do you get it? They will know better than anything. Okay? So this is Nomadic Nisa, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment. You can share too. I don't mind. See you next time. Bye.